Welcome to the Big Sis Energy podcast, your go-to space for real talk, unfiltered advice, and all the tea you didn't know you needed. We're your hosts, Mackenzie
and Malia, aka your internet sisters. We're just here to walk through our early 20s with y'all in real time. We'll chat about relationships, personal growth, no sugarcoating, just the good stuff.
And this season, we're not holding back, so grab your drink, get comfy, and let's chat. It's time to step into your Big Sis Energy. You ready? Wait, is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Sis Energy.
Hey, everybody.
I'm so excited for today's episode, and we're just talking about fitness.
Yes. Well, I feel like because fitness has been such a big part of our life, so...
The ups, the downs.
Love, even like ever since high school, really. Used to play basketball, weightlifting.
We played basketball, and I ran track our freshman year of high school. And then sophomore year, we started weightlifting and training by ourselves.
Yes.
And we kind of learned how to lift weights, be in the gym, work out, and we made our own workout programs and scheduling.
Gosh.
We were gym rats.
I would go to the gym. Kenzie and I both would go to the gym and be there for like 2 hours minimum.
We would probably lift for an hour and a half and then play basketball for like an hour and a half on most days.
Yeah. So we were very active.
How did we have that much time?
I don't know.
Oh,
well, yeah,
it was because we were grounded.
We got taken out of school.
Yep.
And then we did online. And then we also worked at the daycare, but I think I only worked like 3 hours. Actually, I worked like 6 hours after I was done with school. So I worked from like 12 to 6. And then after I got off work, I would go and
to
work
the gym
out
for
night.
3 hours.
Yeah.
But I had so much fun, and I feel like I developed a passion for fitness.
Yes.
Now, there's pros and cons to developing a passion for fitness because that passion will dwindle.
Oh, yeah.
And you're left with, because people always ask me, they're like, how do you stay motivated to go to the gym? I'm like, I'm not motivated. Like,
it's hard. It really is, especially how much like life changes, and also being a woman and your body changing.
Yep.
That's been the biggest difference for me. Like going from a teen, young adult.
It even changes because I used to work out at night. Mm-hmm. I work out in the morning now because I get so tired at night and then I can't fall asleep. But when I was a teenager, that did not affect me. I loved working out at 9 p.m. It's just interesting though, like how you were saying, how your body changes and the way you move or the way that you structure your fitness routine changes as well.
And you kind of have to switch it up because, for one, I feel like I can get bored of a routine easily. So I'm like, how can I switch it up? But also, as your body changes, like sometimes a certain workout might be too much for you. Like I've experienced that even with my health issues. Like I really had to switch up certain things because my body wasn't able to do certain things at the time. Like, for instance, weightlifting was too much for me, like even a year ago. So I was just going on walks, going to Pilates classes, all of those things. Because I like weightlifting now, and I feel like I notice the biggest difference in my body. But sometimes that's not what you need in the moment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was impatient too, because I was like, oh, like I want these results. I was kind of on my weight loss journey, and I noticed the biggest results when I'm weightlifting, but I had to slow it down because of my health issues. So that kind of sucked.
So you knew it was going to take maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But I think one thing I noticed about taking a longer term approach rather than a short term, like 75 hard, something like that, is it's more sustainable because you're building a routine and you're staying consistent throughout it. Versus sometimes with 75 hard, you complete the challenge, which is not easy to do and takes dedication, takes motivation, takes consistency still, because 75 days is not a short amount of time.
It's a long time. But
it's so intense that your body's not really able, for most people, to sustain that for longer than 75 days.
I was like, oh, I want to work out super hard. But for me, 75 hard was just me on a strict healthy diet, which was still hard because eating healthy is challenging.
It is.
Because sometimes I want a big fatty cheeseburger.
Yeah, yesterday was our cheat day, actually.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, yesterday was a cheat day and we went off. Although I look forward to the cheat days, and always have a cheat day because
I live for
you
my
deserve
cheat
it.
days.
No, for real. I live for my cheat days too. It's kind of bad.
I had an interesting encounter, and this was actually post Coachella, okay, that I wanted to talk about, kind of going into aesthetic versus athletic. So after 75 hard, I lost a substantial amount of weight, but it was also like a body recomp. Mm-hmm. So even though I didn't lose as much as maybe it looked like I lost, I was building muscle at the same time. And I was so proud. I was like, oh my gosh,
so
like,
good.
thank you. I really enjoyed the type of training that I was doing. I felt really energized, healthy. I just felt good after 75 hard. And I knew for me, I wasn't able to work out twice a day, 7 days a week for the rest of my life. That's not realistic. Yeah. That's not sustainable. How am I going to build a routine that works for me, that is sustainable for the long run? Because like Malia and I said, we started training when we were 15 and 16. And then when we were like 18, 19, 20, we had some life changes. And the way we ate was so different.
We weren't living a healthy lifestyle
Not at all.
And it's funny too, because I was like, oh, does that really matter? But it does, because I saw it in the way that I felt, even my health. All of the things that you're putting into your body and the things that you're consuming are so important, because it does have an effect on your health. And especially for me, you have to be so careful with constantly putting bad things in your body.
Because sometimes you get so used to eating a certain way that you think you're fine.
It's a habit.
Until you switch how you eat, you realize how tired you once were.
Yes, you're like, I feel so energized. I feel good. Like, I'm actually able to hit a good workout.
It was also the bloating for me, because I always felt inflamed. I always felt bloated because I was not eating healthy at all.
I feel bloated today. I was like, after our cheat day yesterday, I was like, I feel sick. Like you were saying, once you get used to eating unhealthy, like we did a couple years ago, I didn't notice it until you take it out of your routine and you're like, wait, I actually feel terrible when I eat unhealthy.
Yep.
Like the foods, even my stomach, I was like, I feel a little weird.
I think, okay, this is what I wanted to talk about Coachella. I know I brought it up, but someone accused me of editing my pictures.
Now, y'all.
Which, okay, I understand, because the way my hip was poking out.
Biggest compliment, though, to be honest.
You said biggest compliment.
Thank you.
But
the BBL allegations.
Bro, nah. Okay, this was, I feel a few different types of way about it, but let's get into it. I'm actually going to pull up let's pull up the post. My girl, she commented and she said, "You look unreal." And I was like, "Thank you so much. Like, that's so sweet." Now then, another girl comments underneath that. "It's because she's not. Facetune works wonders. Just compare the photos someone else took versus her selfies, and you'll be able to tell swiftly which has been edited."
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And then I said, "LOL. They are all live photos that haven't been edited. Lighting and angles play a big part, though." Which is true.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I posted the live photos.
Period.
Because I was like, okay, I think the way our society is, we're quick to... because a lot of people have had work done and they do edit their photos, we think sometimes, like, our brains are programmed to, oh, she had work done. Oh, she edited her pictures. Because we see it so often. Because it's true. A lot of people, they get work done. And there's nothing wrong with those things.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with, I think it's also a bigger societal kind of issue, because women feel like they need to look a certain way and they want to edit their pictures because they want to fit this unrealistic beauty standard.
Yeah.
It's not an easy conversation to have,
right?
Because there's a lot that goes into it, which is why I felt so strongly to respond in the way that I did. She had posted that this selfie's waist and hips purely based on scientifics. Social media is not real. Most of us be edited as hell. Unless she got work done, then it's understandable. But man, most of us with eyes know that's not the same body. So after that, and I'll put up pictures. I'll put up pictures.
Damn.
I posted the live photo because she posted that on her Instagram story. She reposted my picture.
Okay, that's taking it too far. It's one thing even to comment something like that. You could have worded it differently if you were genuinely curious, but to post it on your Instagram story.
Well, and my thing too, I went on her profile and I was like, she's a beautiful girl. Like, genuinely, I was like, oh, I feel like you're too cute to be talking like this. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's never positive to put another woman down. Even if let's say I did edit my pictures and I didn't post the live photo and I had no proof that they weren't edited or whatever, I still don't feel like it's cool to, like, talk about people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Especially to make a whole story about it, like, that's kind of...
To post on your Instagram story, comparing me side to side to myself, is a little crazy. So this is what I responded with. "I think it's essential to be transparent about editing and getting work done. That being said, I will fix lighting, edit certain things out of the background, fix details, etc. But I do not edit my body or face. I have been heavily in the gym since my sophomore year of high school and recently completed 75 hard in November last year. I haven't gotten any work done. Not saying it's bad to get work done, I just personally haven't. But I get my protein in and I work my ass off in the gym. Plus, genetics play a huge part." And then I said, I want you all to know I'm not clapping back or responding, because a lot of people were like, Mackenzie, like, why are you even responding to this? Like, you don't have nothing to prove. And I was like, you're right, I don't. But I think it's important to have these conversations and keep it a buck. Because
Absolutely.
What if other people are thinking the same thing and they're like, oh, Kenzie's switched up on us and now she's editing.
It's always good to address it.
I think so. If you feel like strongly.
And if you want to clap back, it's your page. Like, you can clap back if you want to.
That's so true. So I said, I want you all to know I'm not clapping back or responding because I feel like I have to. I want to shed light on this because our society is so harsh on women who are natural and women who have had work done. It doesn't matter. That being said, I think it's very important to be honest if you've had work done or if you edit your face and body because of the harsh impacts that it can have on others' mental health. That being said, I have not got work done and I don't edit my body. I do, however, work my ass off in the gym and eat my protein. That is all. Thanks for all the DMs from the girlies who have been seeing me bust my ass in the gym. Love y'all so much. Because a lot of people were commenting and they're like, she must be new. Like, we see you in the gym every day.
Yeah.
Because I post in the gym with my trainer like every day.
They know.
Yeah. So everyone was like DMing me and they're like, girl, don't even worry. Like, we know you don't edit, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because you were asking me too if that was like mean to say that. And I was like, that wasn't even mean at all. That was just like addressing that you don't edit your photos.
Because I think it's really important to talk about because I have seen... do you know when TikTok was about to get banned and people were like announcing like secrets on TikTok?
Yeah.
Fitness influencers, there was I think a couple of them, I don't know exactly who, that announced that they had a BBL. And that was their like dying secret that they wanted to tell TikTok before it got banned, when they were gym influencers showing people like, this is how I built my glutes. This is how I get a snatched waist.
When it wasn't even real.
When it was in fact plastic surgery. So I think those types of things and editing your body is extremely hard on others mental health.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's hard too because I feel like certain body types are trends nowadays. So it's like, I feel like, being curvy is a trend and now all of a sudden it's like being really thin, which is like a body type should not be
a trend
at all. Like, people are born with a certain body type. Like, for some people, they're naturally a little bit thicker. Doesn't mean they're unhealthy. It's just like that's how their body is, you know?
Because I know for me, it's not realistic. Okay, so I have a strong opinion on this. Like you said, people's bodies should not be trends.
Yeah.
I don't care what decade we're in. It's so sad because the way that you are made, like for me, I'm never going to be super, 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 super skinny. I'm just not supposed to be.
Right.
Like, I'm not.
That's not how you were built.
That's not how I was built. And I've never been built that way. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I can be lean and I can be toned, but I'm never going to be super, super skinny because that's just not how I was built.
Yeah.
But I think with all of these trends, even like Ozempic being a trend, Pilates being a trend, all of these things, it's very interesting to see how society puts these fitness trends, body trends in everybody's face.
It's a whole cycle because one trend will be in and then it'll be out and then it'll circle back like 5 years later, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, even when we were in middle school, like the thigh gap thing was like a trend.
Oh my gosh.
What is that? Like, what are we doing, guys?
I knew damn well I'd never have a thigh gap.
Yeah, I was like, oh, my thighs are thick. But thick thighs are good. Like, you know, so it's...
I think that being said, it is so important to find a routine that works for you. What works for your favorite gym influencer, what works for me, what works for Malia might not work for you. The type of food that we eat, the type of workouts that we do, that might not be what's best for you. It might not be.
And I was thinking too, using fitness influencers or even models as like body inspo, and not that that's a bad thing, but I think it can get toxic because you're not built the way that someone else is built. Like, your body is unique to you and it's not gonna ever really look like someone else on Instagram because that's how they were made. Yeah. And they probably work out a lot, or maybe they have work done, whatever it is. I don't know, keeping that in mind when you look at people on Instagram, you know?
That's so true. And I think that's one thing, even during like 75 Hard, I had like this picture of, oh, okay, I want to like look like this when I'm done. For me, the way that I kind of retrained my brain, because again, society plays a huge role into how we think subconsciously.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even realize that was toxic for me to be like, oh, like she's gym goals, I want to look just like her. For me, I don't really want to do that anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say, okay, I want to look like this person.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, for me, let me take a step back. I want to be healthy and fit and be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like. That might not look like my favorite gym influencer. That
Right.
might not look like my favorite actress or model or whatever. And it's not bad to see people and look up to them and be inspired by them, follow their routines, do their glute workouts, do their ab routines, all of those things. Because some of y'all were asking me like what my routine is, and I'm going to share because I don't gatekeep. Like, I think it's important to, it doesn't have to be so intense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's so true.
But it's also good to know, okay, this way of thinking might not be healthy for me right now.
Yeah. Even like looking at yourself too, because I feel like I'm guilty of that, of like looking at old photos of myself and being like, oh, I used to like how I looked when I was 19 or whatever, and I was like super, I wasn't like insanely thin, but you know, thinner. And sometimes now I feel like I can have a toxic look and view on that because I wish that I looked like that. And I'm trying to get myself out of that mindset because my body's changed. I'm a woman now. Not everything is going to be the same. My routine has changed a little bit as well. There's goals that I still want to achieve with my body, and that's always okay. But I think it's the obsessiveness that can get toxic
really fast.
And I feel like I've been there like the past 6 months to a year. I feel like I've been in that mindset, and I'm aware of it. But it's like, okay, how do I get out of that?
Get to a healthy,
before,
place.
I felt like I really didn't have a bad mindset about fitness, you know? Like, I genuinely would just go to the gym because I loved it. And I think that's where I should be now. It shouldn't be like, oh, I'm scared to like gain a couple pounds because I had a cheat day, you know?
Right.
Or I'm scared because I didn't go to the gym and I took a break twice a week. Like, girl, it's okay to take a break. Like, let your body rest. Like, it's not the end of the world if you didn't go to the gym every single day this week.
Especially, I think gym culture plays a big part into that too. Because I think sometimes the intense gym culture of, oh my gosh, like, you have to grind, you have to every single day be in the gym, eating healthy, counting your macros, all of those things. For me, maybe that works for some people. And I think it does work for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to like speak on anyone else's journey. But for me, I have not counted calories since I was 16. And when I was 16, counting calories, I don't think that was healthy for me. I'm going to be honest.
It gets obsessive.
And for me, I'm like, okay, right now I'm in a caloric deficit. I'm eating below my maintenance, but I'm not tracking my calories. I'm just mentally aware that I'm eating less than I was during my bulk in the winter time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's where I'm at too, because I was like, okay, if I eat a certain amount of like whatever I'm eating throughout the day, I kind of know my range of like, okay, that's too much, this is too little. If it's too little, my brain's not gonna be able to function. I can't think properly, and it's like, girl, eat some food.
You gotta keep it healthy.
Yes,
it's not just okay, I need to cut calories or whatever.
Yeah.
It's okay, what is a healthy, maintainable amount of food that I should be eating? And I think for me too, not just how much I'm eating, but it's more so for me what I'm eating.
Yeah.
Because that was the biggest shift when we first, I think we talked about this a few episodes ago, when we first moved out of our parents' house, there was a Chick-fil-A right across from us, and we would always eat Chick-fil-A. And there's nothing wrong with Chick-fil-A. I still mess up a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
I had Chick-fil-A yesterday.
Yeah. Come on now. Like those waffle fries,
they're so good.
They're so good, and the Chick-fil-A sauce will always be my favorite. But I think the amount of fast food that we were eating
was a self-control thing.
It was a self-control thing.
Because I think for us, Kenzie and I are very similar in that we're very all or nothing people.
Very.
So it's like, that is so toxic because either I'm going to be eating everything or nothing. It's like, okay, find a balance.
Find a balance.
It doesn't have to be that extreme.
Balance is so hard to find.
Mm-hmm. And especially with eating, because I tend to eat less when I'm obviously trying to lose weight, which is you have to eat less, but it doesn't mean nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta eat because you're not gonna have any energy to work out or do anything if you don't eat enough.
That's so true. I think like this whole conversation is really just about finding what works for you and what's healthy for you.
Yeah.
Because it looks different from person to person. It also varies on how intensely you're training.
So before my workouts, I'll jog like a mile.
Oh, I know you be putting in that work. Come on,
me, guys. Because before I would I would go and do a little bit of cardio, but I wasn't like running. The running thing has really made me like ravenous. Like I will get so hangry randomly, and I'm like, I just ate an hour ago and I'm hangry.
Yep.
Like how running
cardio
will do that to you.
The
cardio, oh my gosh.
Which is
like
why I don't really mess with cardio like that.
It's tough, but I have been seeing really good results with the cardio before I go and weightlift. I don't do it every day, but I would say I do it like twice, 3 times a week.
Yes.
And I've noticed good results with it, but I'm very hungry.
I think, okay, I know this podcast episode is titled Athletic versus Aesthetic. And I think that that's a great title because training and eating healthy and having a healthy lifestyle is not just about looking a certain way. And it's interesting to me because I had a hands-on experience with this when I started 75 Hard. It became more of a mental challenge, but also a mental benefit for me than a physical one, which was crazy. I did not expect that at all. And that's not why I started 75 Hard. But a couple weeks into it, it became so mentally beneficial for me.
In what way? How do you feel like it changed your... Do you feel like it changed your mindset at all?
I think it did change my mindset because especially in the training aspect of it, your mind gives up before your body does.
Yeah.
So the type of workouts that I was doing were so challenging physically, but I was like, okay, I know I can do it. Like I just can. I know I can do it. Like if I'm going to fall or fail or whatever, I got a trainer here. He's going to make sure I'm good. Right. You know, like I know I can do it. So I think that was one aspect that helped me mentally overcome and also realize how strong I am, even though my body feels like it's going to give out. Another mental benefit for me was the comparison. Yes, not comparing myself to other people. And because let's all be honest, it's so easy in this day and age with social media to compare yourself to other people online. Yeah. To compare yourself to other women. And I have fallen victim of that. Like, it's really hard to not compare yourself to other people. Yeah. Be like, oh, like... Oh.
I think subconsciously we're always doing that, especially like you were saying with social media.
Yep.
Like
it could be not even fitness. So bad. It could be like, she has my dream life. Like, I want to live like that one day. Or she is my dream body. Whatever it is. It's like, it's so easy to compare yourself. But I think for me, I realized how much that affected me and my mindset and how I didn't want to do that anymore.
You don't even know their life really. Like, even like you were saying with social media, like people can make their life look a certain way when like you probably don't even know the half of like the struggles that they go through. They just don't talk about it.
That's so true. And
even same with people's body type. We don't really know what people are going through to get to these or achieve these goals, you know?
Yeah, I'm from the outside. Aesthetic.
Yes.
Aesthetic. Exactly. Yeah. It just made me feel a lot more confident coming out of it. And not just because I felt better physically, but because I wasn't comparing myself to others. Mm-hmm. And I had this goal of, okay, well, if I'm working out daily and I'm eating better, I'm eating clean, I'm in a healthy lifestyle, I'm going to be better every day.
Right.
It's going to happen because I'm in this routine and I'm committed to showing up for myself. I remember I was talking to one of our friends, Julia, and we were talking about how if you can't trust yourself, you won't be able to trust other people. She was like, if you promise yourself you're going to go to the gym tomorrow, but you don't, you just straight up lied to yourself. Like, how can you trust other people if you can't even trust yourself?
Yeah.
And I was like,
bars.
Yeah, that's a bar, because it's the same thing with fitness. We all want to start. And honestly, last year and the year before, I always said, okay, well, I'm going to start eating healthy on Monday. Monday never came. Monday.
That mindset is so bad.
Yeah, because Malia and I, we've always been in the gym. Even when we were kind of not in our healthiest eating habits, we would still go to the gym pretty frequently.
Yeah.
But I think it was the food switch, the nutrition switch, that made me feel a lot better and see more results in the gym.
Absolutely.
Because even though like aesthetic versus athletic, I think I train for both. I want to be strong, but I also want to feel confident in the clothes that I wear, feel confident in my body. Those are important things for me. So I don't want to be like, oh, well, we're not aiming for aesthetics at all. Yeah.
I want to look good.
You said, let's be honest.
I was thinking, like, especially with social media, and this is something that's it can get so toxic very quickly. And I think for us doing social media for 5 years, before I wasn't obsessed with it. Now I am. And I think it's because of the job that we do. And I think this is what kind of comes with it. It's so easy to be obsessed with the aesthetic, like to an unhealthy
because
degree.
if people comment and point out your insecurities, you're already insecure, and now it's validation that you
that you just confirmed it.
Exactly.
Like,
that's
and a lot of people like I would say like our followers are so sweet and kind and like very uplifting and supportive. And it's nice to get the comments of like, oh, like you're looking really good. But like 6 months ago when I was like putting in the work, you weren't really seeing the results just yet. It was tough because I was still looking for that validation, even though I was putting in the work. And I noticed maybe even a small change in my body, but like no one else sees that. It's like I should not be looking for the validation of others. Like you can't do your fitness journey based off of validation of other people. And also mean comments as well. Because there was a video of me and like I kind of got ripped to shreds and people were so mean. So that was low-key like a not a rude awakening, but it made me like really want to like lose weight. And that's such a toxic thing to like even do. But like obviously people are crapping on the way that you look. And no one said anything about my weight, but it was just like it obviously gets to you. So then you're like, okay, let me get in the gym.
Yeah,
you know?
I understand.
So that was a good little push. It gets toxic very quickly, especially when you're so obsessed with the comments of others.
Well, social media in general, I heard someone say this one time and it really stuck with me, but I don't always live by it, but I should. If you let the positive comments influence you, the negative comments will influence you 10 times harder.
Absolutely.
So think about that even for putting, let's say, validation through views. Oh, our views have been doing really, really, really good. Then when they're not, you're so hard on yourself and you're like, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
It's the same thing with comments. If you're like, oh my gosh, everyone's telling me how beautiful I look. This is amazing. I feel so good about myself. You keep feeding into it.
Yeah.
You get a little ego tick and you're on a high. Well, once people start saying negative things, it's going to be a low.
Because the negative things obviously hit way more than the positive.
Yeah. Because you could see 1,000 good comments and you see one bad comment. You're like, oh my God.
Like, and you obsess over it and you're like, it's someone that's literally insecure hiding behind a screen. Like, it's like you always have to tell yourself that because why are you hating on my channel? You know?
Yeah. 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 I know you and I were talking about this, but the way people treat you differently. Because I think...
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Hold on.
Men are so shallow because... let me not generalize, but like I've noticed I've lost around like 20 pounds in the last year, and that's like a decent amount, but I didn't feel like that was like a crazy amount, but I do feel like I look different from last year. But the way I've noticed, especially guys specifically, will treat me better, or like they're nicer, or they like smile more. I'm like, oh, like, wow, he was so nice. And then I realized that it was because of the way that I look. It's just an interesting switch. Because,
you notice the difference.
Yeah, because like I'll go out and like even like extra things that people will go out of their way to do something for me when like that didn't happen before. And I was like, does 20 pounds really make that much of a difference? Like, damn.
Said damn.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
But it's crazy because that mentality is terrible because guys only will do something nice for you because they maybe think you're attractive. And if they don't, then it's like you're scum to them. Like, what even is that?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been knowing this, but like, it's just...
It's sad.
It is sad.
I think it's sad to see people treat you differently based off your appearance when you know who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Like, you know what your heart looks like and who you are, your character values, like all of those things play such a big role into who you are as a person. So to be treated a certain way and see a night and day difference when, like Malia said, if you lose 20 pounds, whatever it is, like even like for me,
I just laugh it off. I think it's comical. I just think it's funny.
It is,
but
like, it's sad.
It is also sad.
I think on another note, for me, I value like women so much. Our community, we have like, you guys are all girls, like we love you guys so much. But I think for me, even in daily life, like I appreciate women and like my girl friendships, everybody. Okay, so when I see like a negative, even like the girl who commented saying that I edited my pictures. I'm like, that hurt, because I'm like, this is like, because she follows me still. Yeah. Like, and she's beautiful. And I'm like, it's just sad to me when women are put against each other. And that's something that I've also seen after doing 75 hard and this kind of transformation. Women look at me different, which makes me really sad. And I never noticed that before, when, like, my whole life before that. Right. But I think now, like, I walk into a room and women are looking at me in, like, disgust. Almost. And I'm like, I don't know if it's some type of, like, I don't know what it is, and I don't want to, like, assume what it is, but it makes me really sad, because I'm like, now that I feel my best, I feel like my most confident. Yeah. Other people are always going to have something to say, or people are always going to have some type of, like, idea of you. Yeah. Because when they don't even know you. When they don't even know you. And it's like, it's hard, because I don't even know how to explain it, but that's been hard for me, because I'm like, oh, I've never wanted to, you know, make somebody uncomfortable or, like, mad or anything like that. Yeah. But it's just like, you know, even we went to the movies last night. I'm like, I just noticed people. It's just different. It's just different and interesting. I don't know.
That is, wait, like, do you have an example?
Not necessarily, like, an actual example. Because I don't think I've ever, like, had a conversation. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with somebody where they pointed something out. I think it's more so just when you walk into a room, the energy shifts, and you notice how people view you. And I think I've always been very attentive to my surroundings. You just notice when people are looking at you in a certain way.
Yes, absolutely.
And
yeah, you can definitely tell.
It's just sad to me.
Yeah, you're so right, though, especially with, like, our society. I feel like we are put against each other when, like, we should be working together and uplifting each other. Yep. Someone else's beauty does not take away from your own. And I feel like I hate how people compare, because it is so prevalent.
Why don't we talk a little bit about when we first started working out in the gym? How did you feel going to the weight section? Because I think that that's something that can be really intimidating for women, especially when you're starting your fitness journey, is going to the weight section where there's, like, 0% girls.
Yeah, and it's all, like, a bunch of, like, big buff dudes that are doing, like, 100 pounds. And I'm like, let me just do my 5 pounds. Like,
for real.
But, you know what's funny? Not even when I first started working out, but when I got back into weightlifting 6 months ago. That was intimidating for me, because I signed up to a new gym, didn't know anybody. I still don't really know anybody. I know a few people, but, like, going to a new gym is intimidating, because I don't really know my way around, and I feel like I don't want to look dumb and, like, wandering around like, oh, where is this? Especially going to the weightlifting, or, like, the heavy weights. Yeah, the free weights. That's intimidating for sure, because I'm like, oh, like, I don't want to look dumb, especially in front of these guys that are, like, you know, I've been here probably for a while.
Doing their thing in the gym.
In reality, no one cares. No one's looking at you like, oh, why is she... And if they are, that's a them problem. Like, why are they... Yeah. Someone should never be judging you for working on yourself at the gym. Like, you have some issues.
I used to feel the exact same way when we first started going to the gym. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I kind of taught myself. I tried to learn. So I at least, like, thought I knew what I was doing, or maybe it seemed like I knew what I was doing. But if I went in with no plan, I would just be wandering around like, oh, hopefully I can find a machine that's open. But once I realized how uncomfortable that made me feel, and how I would only stick to going on the treadmill, going on the Stairmaster, and going to the back ab room, because I didn't want to feel self-conscious in front of other people, I was like, okay, I gotta make a change, because I do want to lift weights. I do want to start strength training, but I don't want to look dumb. Even though you never look dumb, obviously. But, like, you feel that way sometimes. It's like a subconscious thing in your brain. But I think for me, I went to YouTube. I watched Whitney Simmons when I was 15, 16 years old, and I would write down all of her workouts, because she explained them so well, and I would screenshot her doing the motion. So that way, when I went to go work out, I wasn't, like, watching a YouTube video, like, trying to see how it was being done, but I had screenshots of the movement that she did. And I had a list of ideas, or I had a list of my workout routine for that entire day. It was structured. I knew what I was doing after I was done doing curls. I knew what I was doing after my warm up on the treadmill.
Yes.
And that made me feel a lot more comfortable and also locked in. If I knew what I was doing, I wasn't worried about anybody else. Right. I wasn't worried about people looking at me because I'm locked into what I'm doing, why I came here.
And also, it takes time too, especially if you're at a new gym, like to get used to everything and the flow of like how everything works and all the machines and all that.
Sometimes I hate going to a new gym because I'm like, I don't know where anything is.
But then after a few months, you kind of gain your confidence. You're like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. Let me get this workout in. Also, I feel like music plays a big part into that too, with my confidence walking into the gym. I'm like, let me put on my like a little hot girl playlist and lift some weights.
Get into it.
Yeah.
But I think that that's a very common thing to be intimidated by, is just the weight section in general. And for me, it took time to get comfortable.
And you just have to push yourself. Like, even if it's a little bit at a time, like once you get comfortable, then you're like, oh, this is light work. I can do this.
Or take some dumbbells. Take 2 sets of dumbbells to the back room. You don't have to start by working out in front of people. If you want to get the movements down and make sure you're doing them correctly, in like sometimes they have the yoga rooms or like the group fitness classes, and there's no classes being done at that time. Take that space and try to get comfortable with the movement. That way when you do step to the free weight section, you feel confident.
Yeah, because I got my form down.
It's not about looking a certain way in front of other people. It's about feeling like, oh, I've done this before. It's muscle memory. I could do this anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
It's more of like a self thing than trying to like look good in front of other people. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Especially going to the gym too. This is my mindset, but I don't really be looking around. Yeah. I'm just like there to focus on myself.
I got my headphones on.
Yeah, there's usually a mirror. Like I'm never really looking at anybody else but myself. So I assume that other people are also that way.
For
and
real.
Just they're locked in. They got their headphones in. They're not really paying attention to what else is around them, but just their workout.
Amen to that. That's how I've always been. I've never like looked around and been like, who's doing curls wrong?
Yeah, like let me check out that form really quick. Like, you're weird.
You're weird. We all know fitness is not a trend. Okay. It's a lifestyle, but trends are everywhere. Cold plunges, Ozempic, Pilates. Like literally there are so many fitness trends, lifestyle trends, even mindset trends in fitness.
Yeah.
That can be kind of absurd.
Well, especially with social media, because some routines are so extensive and it's like, okay, this isn't even realistic. Like, I'm not going to do this.
I saw somebody actually picking apart Ozempic versus Pilates body. It was so fascinating to me.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. They were like, okay, so a lot of people have been doing Ozempic, have been taking Ozempic in the past like year or two. And Pilates body has become a trend in social media.
Right.
And the guy that was explaining it was basically saying that even though you're getting thinner with Ozempic, to achieve the Pilates body, you have to be doing Pilates because it's like extremely toned.
Right.
He said, he was like, that's becoming a trend because you have to subscribe to a membership. It costs money. And there's always going to be some type of commercialized trend to get you to want to upgrade more.
Yeah.
And spend more money. And I was like, see how society like, it makes me so mad because I'm like, I don't know. It's just interesting how these trends come and go.
Yeah.
It makes me kind of aggravated, but
that's crazy. Because I love a good Pilates class, but it's not like I maybe do it like once a week or once every other week. But
and there's nothing wrong with doing Pilates.
No.
Like Pilates is great. Again, if it works for you, it works for you. I think there's only problems with just doing something because it's a trend.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like always hopping on the next thing. Okay, well, once I see my For You page switch to everyone doing Pilates, let me put down my weights and start doing that.
Yeah.
Once I see all the gym girlies in the gym lifting weights, let me switch back to lifting weights.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we so quick to hop on a trend that somebody else is doing?
Yeah. It's like make a routine for yourself, and there's nothing wrong with like trying something new because it is a trend, but it's like you don't have to switch everything you're doing in your routine just because
don't feel pressured.
I need to look like this certain way and I need to do Pilates 5 times a week.
It's a subconscious thing that we're trying to like fit in with whatever's going on.
Yeah.
And it's just unhealthy.
It's the trends, man.
And expensive.
Yeah.
They just want our money. That's what it is. Anyways,
yeah,
so
they be profiting off of us.
the keep it or toss it game is basically we're going to list either like a trend or a mindset. Emily and I are going to say whether we would keep it or toss it.
Okay.
You want to start?
Okay, let's go. First one, lifting weights makes you bulky.
I'm tossing.
Also tossing.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of people think that they'll be super ripped and jacked if they lift weights. The people that you see that are ripped and jacked, they're intentionally ripped and jacked. They are eating absurd amount of protein to get to where they are. So it's not like they accidentally got bulky.
Yes. Also, naturally, women's bodies aren't typically bulky like guys are. And I think a lot of people think like, oh, if I'm going to do an arm day, I'm going to get jacked like the big buff guy next to me at the gym. When in reality, they have more muscle. They have like, they're going to look different because they're a man, so they're gonna look
different. They're built different. They are built different.
So you're not gonna get bulky because the amount of times, the years that I've done with weightlifting, I've never felt bulky. If anything, I kind of get a little bit more lean
by lifting weights.
Yeah, by lifting weights, I usually end up looking a little bit more lean, more tone.
Say you're a professional bodybuilder and you're quote unquote bulky. They trained to get to that. That was their goal. It's not like they accidentally stumbled across being ripped.
Yeah.
It's like, it's pretty hard to be that ripped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, though, I'm not saying I agree with it, but my upper body puts on muscle very quickly. So I kind of tone down my upper body days because I can be very competitive with myself. I used to write down like what weights I was doing and I was like, okay, well next week I'm going to do more. Like I'm going to hit a PR, whatever. And it's fun to do that for me. I'm like, I love to hit PRs. Yes. I love to like push myself in a strength training way. But I was seeing a lot of like shoulder action. Like, okay, maybe let me settle down. Yeah. Let me settle down.
But also that's genetics too. Like genetics plays a huge role in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we toss in that.
But like I also don't lift an insane amount on my upper body days because I know I put on muscle quickly in my upper body. Mm-hmm. So that's just a little side note. Okay, number 2 for keep it or toss it. Listening to your body over following strict, no excuse rules. I would say keep. I think it's always important to listen to your body instead of saying, okay, well, 7 days a week, I'm going to make sure I'm eating this way and I'm training this way. It's like, okay, what if you get sick? What if you're on your menstrual cycle and you're tired? You don't feel like, you know?
You always have to take your rest days. Like, especially if, I don't know, some days I am insanely tired and I feel like if I go to the gym, I'm just going to hurt myself. Not always be like, oh, I gotta hit my workout no matter what. It's even like, okay, I might pull a muscle or something. I don't know.
I was going to say, even if you're injured, I know I have a lot of friends who will be injured and they'll still make themselves go to the gym and they'll never recover because they don't rest.
Yeah. And it's like, you have to rest. And that's where the toxic mindset comes into it. Cause I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you know, maybe if I don't work out 6 times a week, like I'm going to lose all my gains. It's like, okay, you can take a couple days off. Yep. Okay.
That's the same thing with vacation. Because oftentimes I'm like, oh, well, I kind of want to work out on vacation. I never do. And it's okay. Let's be realistic. Yeah. We're on vacation. I can get back to the gym on Monday when I'm back home.
And your body will bounce back. You'll be fine.
It's not that deep. Yeah. Like, let's have some fun and relax a little bit.
Yes. Okay, next, keep it or toss it. You have to do endless cardio to lose fat. I say toss.
Although I don't think
cardio.
I've never been an endless cardio type person.
Cardio's tough.
I used to sprint when I did track, so I can't run for that long. I can run fast for a short period of time, but that's all you'll get from me.
I think it depends on what type of workouts you like to do. Like if you like to go on a couple mile runs, stuff like that, like
that works for you.
Maybe you like it better than weightlifting. But I feel like weightlifting has really helped me get my strength back and I feel really good. But also I do like some cardio. And I think I do it to kind of lean down a little bit or tone up. It doesn't have to be that obsessive.
I've been trying to do more Stairmaster.
Stairmaster kills me.
It's hard. And it looks so easy.
It does, because I'll be on it for 5 minutes and I'm like, I swear that was 30 minutes.
I swear. Oh my gosh. The longest I've ever done it was 30 minutes. And that was because I was with my friend and she normally does it for 30 minutes. And I'm like,
you're like, oh, I see.
I was like, okay, let me step it up, literally.
I will say with cardio though, my endurance has like significantly improved. I remember when I first started going to the gym, I would do like 10-15 minutes of cardio and I was like really out of breath just because I was kind of out of shape. Then as I kept going frequently, I started like jogging a little bit more, and I was like, okay, let me jog for like a couple minutes. Now I can jog for like 10 minutes straight. But like before, I didn't even think I was gonna be able to do that until like I kept pushing myself like little by little.
And it's progress.
The little wins that can get you to the big ones later on.
It doesn't have to be night and day.
Yeah, like you don't have to start off by running for 10 minutes. Like do it in increments.
This will kind of be like our help assist out segment, but it'll be a little bit different and not as long of stories as they normally are, but more fitness related. So I posted on my Instagram story, drop any fitness, nutrition, or gym questions for a podcast episode. Okay, balancing discipline without falling into restrictive eating territory. I'm still learning. I like to look forward to my cheat days. And I also know myself. I have to kind of plan out my cheat day instead of being like, oh, I'll have one cheat day a week, because my cheat day can turn into a cheat weekend. And
oh yeah. And
like if it's on a Friday, I'll be like, oh, well, messed up the weekend. Might as well just eat bad the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Yup. So I'm trying to be better at balancing my discipline. And a lot of people have the 80-20 rule. 80% of the week, they're eating good, they're eating healthy, nutritious meals, all of the things.
And I feel like that's still pretty good.
20% of the time, they're having like a cookie or some type of cheat unhealthy meal.
Since we're both very 0 to 100, I have had to cut back on like my typical cheat day, because usually, okay, yesterday for instance, I went all out, but I haven't done an all out cheat day in a long time. So I was like, okay, I deserve this.
Yeah, you worked for that. Yeah.
I had a milkshake. What else did I have? Movie theater popcorn. I probably some other stuff too, but like normally what I do for my cheat days is I'll just have like one cookie. Like I'll eat healthy for the entire day, but then at the end I'll have a dessert.
See, so I can't do that.
I typically would just fall off and do like overeat and eat everything in sight.
See, for me, I'm like, once I'm full, I'm done. I don't have to eat the full plate. Because
oh my gosh.
Because for me, that used to be my issue, is I wanted to eat everything.
Or ordering like smaller portions. Like for me, for Chick-fil-A, it's like, okay, I want the large drink, the large fry, the large sandwich, like everything large, when it's like, okay, I could get a medium.
That is so real,
like, girl,
Malia.
I could get a medium.
That is
like,
so real.
And the crazy thing is the medium usually fills me up. Like, I'm usually stuffed out of my mind if I go for a large.
Yeah.
And yeah, usually, like, because if we go out to a restaurant, like, I want to order everything.
I think the way that I've been trying to do it is knowing that a cookie won't hurt me. Having a little bit of ice cream won't hurt me. And then I have my cheat meal once a week.
Like, easier said than done, because it is so hard to have self-control.
Portion control.
Yeah, even portion control. Because it's like, okay, if you're going to have an unhealthy meal, I don't need the biggest plate ever.
Real. So, okay, let's go back to 80-20 rule, because that's like I feel like a good rule to implement, or at least to start trying to implement. So if you're having 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, that's 21 meals. So 20% of that would be around 4 meals. So 4 out of 21 meals you can splurge on. For me, I do once a week, like 1 meal a week. And usually that's dinner plus dessert. For me, that's what I do.
Yeah.
But 4 meals a week that you can splurge a little bit on. Maybe instead of meals, 3 nights a week, you have a little sweet treat.
Yeah.
After dinner. And then once a week you have a cheat meal. That would be around 80-20.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a good spot to be at.
Even with the sweet treats too, because what I'll do is I'll get the Greek yogurt bars.
Halo Top.
Those are so good.
Those
and they're
hit.
lower calories than like a Ben and Jerry's, because I used to get like the full pint size
Ben
Ben and
I
Jerry's.
would eat the whole pint.
Polish the thing off in one night. Like, girl, you can save it for tomorrow.
Malia, those are I'm kid you not, because one day I killed
know how
one.
many calories they are.
One day I killed one. Girl, I've killed
many. We would go to the gym. This was in high school, but we'd go to the gym and then we would go to the store and grab a whole pint of Ben and Jerry's.
Bro, balance, baby.
So good,
no, I'm just kidding.
It's so good.
And those, I think one Ben and Jerry's pint is like 1,000 calories.
But yeah, I think a lot of like even substitutions for like cheat days have been helpful for me. Like I'll wait till the end of the week to have my actual cheat meal, but like if I'm craving something sweet, I'll get like an alternative to like even chips, for instance. Like they have the protein chips now. So if I'm feeling kind of snacky, I'm like, okay, let me grab my protein chips instead of like Lay's potato chips, you know?
So that way you're
it's
not
a little bit better. Then you're making progress because it's like, okay, let me.
But let's keep it a buck. I'm not going to be chomping on carrots instead of chips.
Right.
Do you know what? Like, I still want a
it's
chip.
Like, okay, if I want a snacky snack, then let me get my Greek yogurt bar, or let me get my.
Some of these protein bars are so good too, and they kill my sweet craving, my sweet tooth. So there's definitely ways to like implement change without completely cutting it out.
Cold turkey, and I think the cold turkey thing is like, it's not realistic because then I'm just gonna go back to my old ways, and that's exactly what happened. Like, I would cut out everything, and it's like, girl, like, let's be realistic.
Let's be BFFR.
Yeah.
What is your current workout split? So I got a lot of people were asking about my current workout split. I'm training 3 times a week with my trainer right now. We do a heavy leg day, usually a lot of compound movements. So hip thrusts, squats, deadlifts, Bulgarian split squats, those types of things, walking lunges. And then we'll do either one full body day a week or an upper body day. And then we're usually doing cardio if it's a full body day. So it's full body. And on the full body days, it's HIIT. So we're high intensity interval training, lots of movement, not a lot of rest at all. Versus like on my leg day, I can rest a little longer.
Nice.
And then Fridays are my volume leg days. I'm not going to be lifting as heavy as I was on Monday, but I'm still moving weight. I'm just moving it faster, and we're doing a lot of supersets. So it's a lot of like, okay, for example, hate these. Bulgarian split squats, you're holding, usually I'm like holding 2 30-pound dumbbells, 10 on one leg. Now you drop one weight, do another 10. So now we're at 20. Then I drop the other weight, and I do another 10 on the same leg. So I'm on the same leg the whole time. So I just did 30 reps on one leg.
Dang.
But I'm dropping the weight each set. Those, I'm unable to walk after. It's so bad. And I usually do that 2 to 3 times.
Oh, wow.
So that's 90 reps on one leg.
Damn. No, I literally be waddling out of the gym.
I do. One time I almost walked to the wrong car because I couldn't think. Like it'd be that intense. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, my workout split is I will start by stretching really well because I always end up pulling something if I don't stretch ever. Like I have to get a good stretch in. So I'll stretch for like 10 minutes. I typically do cardio before every workout. So I would say I work out 3 to 4 times a week. Typically jog for 10 minutes. Start with a glute day on Monday. Then I'll do like a full arm day on Tuesday. So I'll do like back, biceps, triceps because I kind of hit all of the muscle groups
in one day
for arms. For me, because if I do one, I don't know, I usually just hit all of them except for chest.
I don't like the isolation.
Really do chest too much. Yeah, neither do I.
I think I was getting too bulky when I isolated.
I just
that
kill
often.
my arms, and usually like it works pretty well. Just do glutes on Mondays and then quads and like hamstrings on Wednesday or Thursday, and then I'll end with another arm day.
If you're working out 4 times a week, it's every other. You're doing a leg day, arm day, then leg day, arm day.
Yeah, I just switch off.
But my split is usually the same, but the workouts I do during my split vary. Sometimes I go to the gym, I don't know what I'm doing, and then my trainer switches everything up. He's like, I never want you to figure me out.
Oh.
And I never have.
Okay.
I never have figured him out. I'm always struggling. Every workout. It never gets
That's
easier.
how you get the gains, though.
It never gets easier. So
Dang.
That's one thing I really enjoy about training with somebody else is I would never make myself work out that hard. He'll count down from 15 seconds and be like, next set.
See, that's the thing. When I work out, I definitely I'll take my rest times.
Someone said, how do you build your nyash? Hip thrust, guys.
Hip thrust for sure.
Hip thrust.
Also, those step backs. The step backs be getting you. And RDLs.
Bulgarians.
I feel like the single-legged RDLs work really good.
Okay, for me, genetics, progressive overload, eating my protein. So 3 things. Genetics play a big part into it, but progressive overload, I'm constantly lifting more weight than I was the week before. And I'm tracking it. I'm tracking how much I'm lifting. So I'm not just doing hip thrusts and keeping the same weight on. But progressive overload can also look different than just adding on more weight. It can be using the same weight and increasing your reps from week to week. So as long as you're challenging yourself in some way that you're able to track, you'll be able to build that muscle group. Eating, like what we eat in a week. I think a good way to talk about this would be just some of like my favorite meals. Steak and eggs. I love steak and eggs in the morning because I'm getting my protein in.
Yes.
I love steak and eggs.
I'll do a fried egg with turkey bacon. That was one thing. A lot of like substitutions. So like I'm gluten free, but I get a gluten free bagel, and then I'll put my fried egg over top with some Lawler salt, and then I'll put the turkey bacon on top. And it's really good.
I also do that too.
Yeah.
Except usually I'll do the Dave's Killer Bread English muffins.
Ooh.
So I'll do that if I want to get some extra carbs in.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I get so tired and I'm like, okay, I need carbs.
Yes, that's same with me, and I need the energy because if I don't eat enough, I will not be ready to hit my workout.
Yep.
Lunch, I do like chicken and rice. I need to be better. I used to have like protein shakes in the morning with my greens, so I need to add that back in because I don't know why I stopped doing that, but
I used to make a hot honey chicken quinoa bowl, and that would be my lunch. I love that. I basically just took inspiration from Sweet Green's hot honey chicken bowl, and I made it myself. I made like my own honey mustard, pre-made the chicken, and then had the quinoa ready to go. Then I would add the chicken, add the quinoa, add a little bit of lettuce, cucumbers, and then some hot honey mustard, and I was good to go. That was like one of my favorite meals.
I buy like this cauliflower crust pizza, and it's gluten free, so it's not like the healthiest, but like it's still kind of on my diet, so I'll have that every once in a while.
Oh, do you remember the broccoli chicken bake that we made? That we we meal prepped?
So good.
That is really good. So basically, it's half pre-cooked, but the goal is to meal prep it and then put it in the air fryer like 15 minutes before you want to actually eat it. So you cook it a little bit while you're meal prepping, but then you really cook it, get it all crispy, the broccoli. It's so good. So it's buffalo sauce, chicken breast, broccoli, and it's really good. You can add quinoa, you can add rice, you can add any type of like carb that you want. Take any pre-workouts. Which ones are your favorite?
I don't take any pre-workouts. I will have an energy drink. Like recently I've been drinking the Primes, but I'm trying to not have energy drinks.
Yeah.
But it's tough because sometimes I don't have energy to go without like
yeah,
caffeine.
Right.
You know? I
used to take pre-workout, and then I had a hemiplegic migraine when I was 16, and I had to go to the ER. They thought I was having a stroke. The doctor told me not to have pre-workout anymore. So since I was 16, I haven't had pre-workout.
You guys,
that was athletic versus aesthetic.
This was a good episode. I'm glad we talked about this because I feel like it's such a huge part of our life, working out and everything, but it also can get crazy. It can.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of pressure that comes with talking about fitness, goals, all of those things. But thank you guys so much for listening or watching today. If you guys have any stories and want to be featured in new upcoming episodes, definitely drop them in the forms link down below. We love reading your guys' stories.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram. Mine is Malia Alexis _
Mine is Kenzie Grace _
and Big Sis Energy with 2 Y's. And we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Peace.
Bye.